a perfect teenager, tell you the truth. He did not even rebel. I don't think that was love at first sight or anything. I could only observe what I saw. They are not compatible anymore, and he was not happy anymore. And I finally thought, he's finally seen the light.
Hey guys, welcome back to Rabbit Hole Rocks. Today we're going to be looking into Cindy Watts, Chris Watts' mom. A lot of you have requested this video. It's about 22 minutes long. I've never watched the entire video, only snippets. So I'm really curious to see what she's going to say. Let's go ahead and dive in.
I wake up every morning just crying, thinking this is not going to be what's going to happen every single day. It's just so hard to get through it. I just don't know how to get through it.
Tell me about his childhood. Did he play sports? Was he in scouts? What kinds of things did
Yes,
did
he
do?
played sports. He played sports from the time he was 5 years old up until he was 17. And he was in basketball, he was in baseball, he was in football, and loved NASCAR. He and his dad went to the NASCAR races all the time. Loved sports. And he was a good kid. Had two best friends, and that's who he grew up with, and still are friends with them today. And there's nothing that would have predicted any of this could have ever happened.
Yeah.
Nothing in his childhood at all. I would have never in a million years thought something like this could happen to him at all.
You didn't see things like him get...
She really just said that? And then notice her mouth movements. I get the feeling that she thinks that this whole situation is terrible because it's affecting her son. She doesn't see this really, again, this is just my opinion and speculation based on what I'm watching, but it doesn't really seem like she's grieving and she's mourning the deaths of her daughter-in-law and her grandchildren. She's mourning that this was done to Chris. It's something that was done to him. It's something that happened to him. Him being in prison because of something that happened to him. He did this to himself. I already sense a little bit of denial with Cindy Watts. Oh, it happened to him. And then her mouth situation. It was kind of weird when she said, no, I never expected any of this to happen. No, not in a million years. No, not in a million years. I didn't notice anything during his childhood. No, I did not notice that he was a little psychopath when he was 5. No, I could have never guessed any of this would have happened. Let's continue.
Getting into fights? Or...
No fighting. He was quiet, and he got along with people, and he didn't start anything, and he was a perfect teenager, tell you the truth. He did not even rebel. He wanted to go to NASCAR Tech. We made that possible for him.
What did he do after he finished school?
He worked at the dealership as a service technician and was making good money and loved it. He bought a toolbox, and he started buying his tools and enjoyed it. He was doing well.
When and where did he...
He was so grown. I was so proud of him. He bought his own toolbox. He was a perfect child. So proud of him because he bought his own toolbox. I'm not going to judge her too harshly on this one. Is that the best that Chris can do, is buy his own toolbox? It seems like that's what it was. It was a huge accomplishment for Chris to buy his own toolbox. So Cindy is really proud of her son for doing that. Let's continue.
Meet Shanann.
They met, and he liked her, she liked him, but it didn't, I don't think that was love at first sight or anything. They took a little while and I guess got to know each other and, dated. It was always a little strange that she always said a lot of things about Chris in front of me that I didn't like. Like, this isn't the kind of person I would date. He doesn't know how to do this, or he doesn't know how to do that. He looks like a skater boy. Look at his hair. Look how much stuff he puts on his hair. It was just on and on and on, and I just got a bad feeling.
And they got married in 2020.
What's up with her mouth thing? Cindy could not help herself. Not even 2 seconds into a question about Shanann, she immediately has to throw the but in there. Yeah, they met and they got to know each other, and I guess he liked her and I guess she liked him. But it wasn't love at first sight or anything. What's the point? What's the point of having to say it wasn't love at first sight? Cindy is already bashing on Shanann. She's already talking badly about Shanann. Her main complaint is that Shanann would say things about Chris to Cindy. Oh, he looks like a skater boy. He's just not the kind of guy that I would date. So to me, it doesn't really seem like Shanann was talking shit about Chris, but more so Shanann is trying to bond with her future mother-in-law. I mean, that's something normal. People say that all the time. Oh, I would never, he's not my type, but I fell in love with him. Like, look at how much product he puts on his hair. Like, he's just not the kind of guy I would date, but your son is so amazing that I fell in love with him. That's the impression that I'm getting. That is what I think Shanann was trying to do here. She was trying to bond with her future mother-in-law. The one mom that I know that is like her, it doesn't matter if the daughter-in-law is the most perfect human being on the planet. She can be a doctor, she can be an astronaut. It doesn't even matter what profession she has, how she looks, if she is strong and independent or if she isn't. It doesn't matter what kind of woman she is. For these kinds of people, that person will never be enough. They will never be enough for their son. It could have been any other woman. Cindy would have had a problem with that woman regardless. Chris is her golden boy. He's perfect. So no woman could ever possibly be good enough for my son. Oh, my boy. He's such a grown man. Look at him. He bought his own set of tools. Let's continue.
2012, did they get married in North Carolina?
They did. Mm-hmm.
How was that?
We didn't attend.
Really?
Mm-mm. We didn't attend because Shanann and I just couldn't get along. And I didn't like the way she treated him.
What do you know about their marriage and their issues?
What an awful thing to do, to not even show up to your child's wedding. That is some petty bullshit. That is just straight pettiness. Just because she didn't like that Shanann said, oh, look, he's a skater boy. I don't like his hair. Cindy took that as an insult, supposedly, and she made it about herself, and she decided not to go to the wedding to punish Shanann because she didn't like her. As with Cindy Watts, and again, I'm not a therapist. I'm not a professional anything. My background is in geography. I'm not a professional anything, but I get the impression that Cindy Watts is a narcissistic mother. And I know about narcissistic moms because I have one. Yay, I have one. I have my own narcissistic mom. Anytime you have a big event and you're happy about it and you're showing excitement and it's something that is really gonna make your day, your narcissistic parent or your narcissistic relative will always find a way to make it about themselves. They will always find a way to ruin that event. And so that's the impression I get from Cindy. Cindy didn't want to show up to the wedding, not because she had an issue with Shanann, no, Not because she treated Chris so badly. Oh my gosh, she's just treating him so poorly. Look, she made a comment about his receding hairline. No, it's not that. It's that Cindy wanted to make the whole event about herself. She didn't show up because she wanted both Shanann and Chris to feel her absence. They're not going to be able to enjoy their wedding because I'm not there. That is really why narcissistic people do the things that they do. She's doing it because she wanted the attention. And she wanted to know that her absence during this huge event, during the biggest event of their lives, she's not there. So then in her mind, she threw a wrench in the whole wedding. Because Chris's parents didn't go to the wedding and they didn't accept this event and didn't celebrate it with them, that pretty much set the stage for how the rest of the relationship was going to go and the rest of her relationship with her daughter-in-law. It was a petty move, obviously, but she did it because this is the type of relationship that she wanted to have with Shanann. I read Cindy Watts just like I read my own mom. Let's continue.
Oh, very little. Very little. You can only observe. I could only observe what I saw when I was around them. Christopher always seemed anxious, and he when she needed something, I mean, he would run. He wouldn't walk, he would run, he would get it. He just always seemed to be right there at her beck and call.
And that
Oh, he would run. He wouldn't walk. He would run. That's called envy. I'm only observing what I'm seeing, and what I'm seeing is what I'm observing. And what I'm observing is Cindy is incredibly jealous. She's envious. Her little son, her golden boy, no longer sees mommy as his protector. Chris is no longer running to mommy. Chris now has someone else to run to. And that's what I'm getting from Cindy. Again, this is just my opinion and based on my experience with narcissistic parents. So again, let's not get it twisted. This had nothing to do with Shanann herself. It had nothing to do with her personality, her character. It had nothing to do with her. It all had to do with Cindy and the fact that no woman would ever be enough for her son because she felt envious of any woman taking attention away from her. She was upset at the fact that Chris no longer gave Cindy the attention. The attention was going to now his family, his wife, and his children. So now you are second, right? Because that's what happens. When you get married, your parents become your second family. Your primary family are your wife, your husband, your children. That's your primary family. That's your next of kin. And then she became the secondary. Oh, but I gave birth to you. I gave birth to you, though. You need to give me all the attention. I'm your mother, says a narcissistic parent. Let's continue.
did that seem odd to you? Or?
Very odd. It was very odd. He just seemed nervous.
So how much did you see them over these last 6 years?
Probably twice a year. We would go up there.
Did you stay with them? Or?
Yeah, we would stay with them and stay a week and then come back home.
Tell me about Bella and Celeste.
Oh, Bella was just like Chris. Just like him, shy, cautious, conservative. Cece was a ball of fire. I mean, she was fearless, completely fearless. She just loved to run. So they were wonderful. It breaks my heart to know that they're not here. They were beautiful children, beautiful children.
What did they call you?
She does what Chris did when he was at the front porch interview, and he's like, And the reporters asked him, "Oh, tell me about your children." And he's like,
Celeste.
How old are your daughters?
4, Bella's 4, Celeste is 3.
she's doing the same thing with her mouth and her eyes and like the slow blink. They were wonderful. It breaks my heart that they're not here anymore. It just breaks my heart. I don't see any emotion, 0 emotion. I see the same amount of emotion out of her that I did when I saw Chris in the front porch interview, that I see from Nicole during that interview with Kobach. 0 emotions. Let's continue.
Mimi,
Maybe. How about Ronnie? What did they call?
Papa.
Do you think Chris
They called her Mimi and they called Ronnie Papa. Again, 0 emotions.
loves Shanann?
Oh, God, he loved her. Yes, I believe he loved her at first. I believe he did. But I think as the years went on, I think it just being in that kind of a relationship, which the social worker even said that marriage should have ended a long time ago.
Shanann's
What? The social worker? What social worker? The social worker even said that that marriage should have ended a long time ago. Notice the mental gymnastics. She doesn't want to blame Shanann directly, so she does it indirectly. You know, I think he loved her, but that was in the beginning. Throughout the years, you know, being in that kind of relationship. What kind of relationship? The one where the wife is like, well, you're a dad, so you need to help me with the kids? Oh, the one where the man is also held responsible? Is it the kind of marriage where the wife makes the decisions because she's the more competent one? Is that the kind of relationship that she's talking about? He wasn't smart with money. He wasn't really good at managing money. He wasn't good at making money either. On top of that, he's very passive, you know, given the type of childhood that he must have had with an overbearing, domineering mother like Cindy Watts and having a dad like Ronnie. You know, I don't know this for a fact, but I'm pretty sure that Ronnie has never won an argument against Cindy. It seems that that's what Cindy is saying here. That's the kind of relationship. Oh, well, my son, oh, he's so passive. Shanann made all the decisions. What kind of relationship is that? A relationship where your son was successful because he had an ambitious, goal-oriented woman by his side. And Cindy is complaining about it. Again, but it's not because of Shanann or because of any actual thing that Shanann did. I don't believe it has anything to do with the actual relationship itself. I think that Cindy would have hated anybody. It could have been anyone. It just didn't matter which woman it was. That woman took Chris away from her is what she despised. Oh my God, she took my son away. That is how much control this woman has over Chris. Look at how much control she has over him. She even made him move to Colorado. Oh, she moved him so far away from me. Look at how domineering and controlling this woman is. Oh my God. Let's continue.
pregnancy and what did Chris tell you about that? Was he excited?
No, I don't think he was. I think it was a shock to him. And he said that they have been talking about divorce, that, they are not compatible anymore, and he was not happy anymore. And I finally thought, he's finally seen the light.
And I take it Chris had never been in trouble with the law.
Just to be clear here, Chris wanted the baby. It was Chris who wanted to have a son. So now we have Cindy saying, oh, he wasn't happy. He actually didn't even want the baby. When did he actually say this? When did Chris tell his family that he wanted a divorce? Shanann had no idea that this is what Chris was talking about to his family. She was in the dark. But Cindy is here saying that Chris had already communicated to his family, meaning Ronnie, Cindy, and Jamie, his sister, that he wasn't happy, that he didn't want the baby, and that he wanted a divorce. Did this happen during the time that Chris wrote that really stupid and really weird letter to his sister? Is that when this was said? Because when else did Chris tell his family, oh, I'm so unhappy, I'm gonna leave? Unless he told them about Nicole. Does that mean that Chris's family knew about Nicole? Were they okay with Nicole? Oh, this is really weird. Let's continue.
Never. He's got one speeding ticket and didn't even know about that.
Tell me what happened when they were reported missing. What did you find out? How did you find out? Who told you?
I think Ronnie called me. Ronnie called me and said that they're missing, and I thought, I don't believe it. I didn't believe they were missing. I believed that she was going to punish Chris. She was just going to punish him, take the girls, and just punish him. I had no idea of anything else.
So that is called projection. Again, I'm not a therapist. Narcissists love to do this thing, and it's called projection. She would be the one to do the thing that she just accused Shanann of doing, which is, oh, I don't think she was actually gone. She was just trying to punish him. Projection. She's projecting the things that she would do to Chris, you know, like not show up to the wedding because, oh, I want him to feel the pain. And so now she's accusing Shanann of the same thing that she would do. Oh, well, I would just get back at Chris by going missing. I'm just gonna take off and not talk to him and see if he misses me. This is the type of pettiness that I sense from Cindy Watts. It's pettiness. She's just petty. That's what I get from Cindy here. Projection. Let's continue.
Christopher called and said, Mom, they're searching the house. I said, okay, that's fine. I mean, and I still was not worried. I was not worried. I just thought Shanann had run off with girls.
So walk me through the sequence of events over the next.
It's so weird that her story is the same as Chris's story, is the same as Nicole's story. All three of them believed that Shanann just took off. Oh, she just took off for a day. No shoes, no wallet, no keys, no EpiPens, no car. She just took off. It's like none of these people knew Shanann. Of course they knew her. I'm not going to say Nicole knew her. Nicole knew of her, and she probably knew enough through Chris. And of course, because in my opinion, she was stalking Shanann's Facebook page. So you learn a lot from people just looking at their social media. Chris and Cindy knew Shanann, and both of them know that Shanann wouldn't just take off with the kids. This woman is either just very, very petty and just projects everything that she would do onto others, or she knows more, or it's a combination of the two. But I just think it's really weird that she's sitting here saying that she actually believes that Shanann was just trying to get back at Chris. That is not true. Like, come on. Really? Are we actually going to believe this? I don't believe this. No. Let's continue.
Next few days, did you and your husband travel to Colorado?
Ronnie did.
Okay.
Ronnie did. And, I mean, Christopher let everybody come in. Her phone is there. Her purse is there. Everything is there. But there's no kids and there's no Shanann. And I was not worried. You know, I thought she has just gone off and I'm going to punish you for this and you can worry about me. But when Christopher called us and he said, I said, do you want us to come down now? He said, tell Dad I need him. Tell Dad I need him to come down. I said, what about me? He said, no, Mom, just stay. Just send Dad. And he picked him up at the airport and they drove to the police station. And Chris still didn't say anything to him. Nothing. He had already been interrogated 7 hours prior to that. He had already let the police go into his home, search everything. He was going in for another interrogation. The next thing, after 5 hours, they called Ronnie and said that your son wants to talk to you before he tells us anything. And that's when Christopher broke down and cried and said, I'm sorry, Dad. He said, I went into a rage and I killed her. after she killed Cece and Bella. And he found out where he is, and then they wouldn't let him see him. He couldn't see him. And so he was going back to the airport when his public defender called him and told him to come back. So, and that's when Ronnie met his public defender. And so, talked to her for a while. And they kept in touch with us and let us know what's going on.
And then what was the next step?
Notice the way she talks about this. And of course, you know, just like every narcissist, classic narcissist traits, I asked him, do you want me to come to Colorado, son? And then my son said,
No, not you, Mom. Not you. I just want my dad. And not you, though. You can stay.
yeah, so notice that she had to throw that in there. Oh, he didn't want me. Oh, feel sorry for me. He didn't want me, though. That's when Ronnie came over and he met with Chris and they started to talk about it. And that's when Chris broke down in tears. I don't know what interrogation video she's been watching, but the video that is in Discovery is not the same one that she watched. I don't know, maybe she's watched the AI version of it, but the one that the Weld County DA's office has, that one did not show Chris breaking down in tears.
I'll choke her for that. Did she kill him? Terribly.
It really is just Chris whispering to the dad, and the dad is like, ah! The only time that I saw Chris cry was when he was asked about his daughters and where they were, and if he wanted one of his coworkers to help the police get them out of the oil tanks. That's when Chris broke down. Yeah, he broke down because he didn't want his coworkers to know that he's a monster and that he's capable of doing that to his children. Of course, because he lied. He said that Shanann did something to the girls and then that made him snap and he went into a rage and then he did the same thing to Shanann. Yet, we're expected to believe that someone who did that to his wife because he saw his wife do those things to his kids will then put the bodies in the oil tanks, water and crude oil. But we're supposed to believe he loved them so much, and that's why he went into a fit of rage, and he did the same thing to Shanann because he just couldn't believe that she had done the same thing to his daughters. And then we see Chris crying, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. I think the normal thing that anyone would do is call the police, right? Yeah, you would call the police. You wouldn't fatally harm your spouse and then drive the bodies to your work site and dispose of their bodies there and then pretend like nothing happened. That is just so illogical. But of course, here we have Cindy believing the exact same thing because she doesn't want to take responsibility, right? Because your children are a direct representation of the parent, especially when it comes to narcissistic parents. Because narcissistic parents don't see their children as an individual. They see their children as an extension of themselves. And so I think that's the thing that Cindy is battling with here. She's going through this internal battle where she sees Chris as an extension of herself. So then does that mean that she's also evil? Who knows? Who knows? Let's continue.
Update that you got, was it?
The next update I got was Ronnie called Jamie and told him they found their bodies. And they rushed over here. Nobody told me anything until they walked through the door. And they told me what happened, and I just fell to the floor. I just fell to the floor. It was unbelievable. And it's been unbelievable ever since. And
What did his attorneys tell you about contact with him, starting with his
None.
arrest?
No contact. Everything is recorded. No contact. No letter writing. I didn't see the harm in the letters. Hi, son. Love you. Keep fighting. We are here to support you. What is wrong with that? What can the DA do about letters like this? Why couldn't we just write him a letter? We did what we were told to do. When they called us to tell us that Chris was thinking of a plea, that he wanted to speak to us about it. And when we got down there, it was a lie. They wouldn't let us talk to him about anything. And then we had to talk to him through a screen and a phone. And he just looked, he was crying. I mean, he wasn't crying. You could see the movement in his mouth that when I talked about Bella and I talked about Cece and the memorial service that we had for them. And he asked what pictures did we use, and, what was the song. You can see how he was trying to hold back tears.
What day was that? Do you remember?
She's brave. She's brave to have the audacity to go on national television and claim that her son was crying the memorial of the daughters that he killed. I don't think Cindy Watts has any shame. I don't think she is capable of feeling shame. Yeah, you're the mom, but your son committed some heinous acts of violence towards his family. And she's claiming that she was writing him letters and that she wanted to write him letters to let him know, keep fighting. Keep fighting for what? He annihilated his family. We all know he's evil and he's vile. He's a monster, but she's trying to paint Chris as this perfect son. Oh, poor thing. Look at what happened to him. Oh, he was crying. Like, no, he wasn't. He has never shed a single tear for his family. He cries for himself. Yes. He cries because he's in prison. He cries because his friends know that he's a monster. Not once has he cried for his family. But Cindy is trying so hard to make him seem like a human who had feelings. And, oh, my son was crying. Bro, your son killed his own daughters. And it's sickening that she's telling him about the memorial, the perpetrator. The reason that her grandkids are no longer around is this man, the one that she says that I had to talk to him via a screen. No shit, you have to talk to him via a screen. He's in prison. He's in jail. He's got an orange jumpsuit. Why? Because he killed his family. But she's complaining that she has to talk to him via a screen. Oh, I can't write him letters. This is so mean. How messed up is this? I can't write letters to my son? Oh my God, the delusion. This woman is delusional. Let's continue.
Well, we flew in on that Monday. We flew in on Monday, and we saw him Monday night, and then the plea deal was on Tuesday.
So Monday night was when you wanted to talk to him about it? Yes, and we weren't allowed. And it would have helped us so much to be able to talk to him. I wouldn't have to go through all this now. Everything just seems to be shrouded in secrecy. And just tell us what is going on. And let us...
I wouldn't be going through any of this if they had just let me talk to him. I wouldn't be going through this pain now. I would be able to sleep better now. I wouldn't be dealing with all of this drama now. I would feel so much better if I was just allowed to talk to my child, because I feel so bad about this. Me. Look at how I'm struggling. Look at how I'm suffering. Oh, so much secrecy, and it's hurting me now. Me. I'm suffering. I think Cindy and my mom would be best friends. Let's continue.
Ask Chris if it's okay if you talk to us. I just don't like the way it was handled from the very beginning. I don't like the way it was handled. I want to save your life, that's all.
Hold up. Let's rewind that. What did she just say?
Just tell us what is going on. And let us ask Chris if it's okay if you talk to us. I just don't like the way it was handled from the very beginning. I don't like the way it was handled. I want to save your life. That's all. We're just here. We're going to save his life. We want him to get life in prison. It was like they already knew he was guilty. And this was the end of it.
It's like they already knew he was guilty.
Lady, he confessed. He confessed to the crimes. He confessed to putting his daughters in oil wells. He confessed to putting Shanann in a shallow grave.
It's like they already knew he was guilty.
And then she criticizes the police work and the process.
Well, why couldn't they just ask Chris? Just ask him if it's okay to talk to us.
Can you just go ask the accused if it's okay that we talk to him? I don't care about you, district attorney. You're not in charge here. My son is in charge. You should go ask him if it's okay for us to talk to him. What kind of world does she live in? Cindy Watts is Delulu. She is so incredibly delusional. Does she not watch TV? As fake as Law and Order SVU and all the other Law and Orders and pretty much any crime scene or any law enforcement show that you watch, they're all the same. They all pretty much tell you that the accused is not the one that is in charge. If she had just watched even just one episode of Law and Order, she would know that when you are accused of murder, you're not gonna have the right to make decisions for everybody. There's a process that you have to follow. And she feels so entitled. Like she was entitled to talk to her son. I have to talk to my son. I'm just trying to save his life. Hello, do you not know who I am? I'm Cindy Watts. I am entitled to my 2 hours with my son. Delusional. Complete delusion from this woman. Let's continue.
Were you worried about the death penalty being a possibility?
No, I didn't care about the death penalty. Nobody's going to die in Colorado. I don't think anyone has, one person? Colorado is changing. So people stay on death row forever. I think you'd be safer on death row. And her parents said they didn't want any more death. So I don't see how the death penalty could have mattered. All I want is the truth.
All I want is the truth.
Lady, you have the truth, but you are delusional. And she's so smug. Like she's holding back her smile and her laughter. Let's watch that again.
We're on death row. And her parents said they didn't want any more death. So I don't see how the death penalty could have mattered. All I want is the truth. I just want the truth.
All I want is the truth. I just want the truth.
Sounds a lot like, I just want them back.
Please just bring them back.
Like mother, like son. Let's continue.
That's it. And I know Chris, he would take responsibility. And I guess maybe he is. I don't know. I just can't see him doing that.
What do you think the truth is about how Shanann and Bella and Celeste died?
Oh, God, I don't know anymore, honestly. I don't know his frame of mind, and I don't know his frame of mind, because why would you plead guilty to something you didn't do? And that's all I want to know. Why would you plead guilty if you didn't do it? If you told your dad you didn't do it? And that's what I want to know. And they said, well, you'll find all that out. Christopher will talk to you when and after he's sentenced. Well, isn't that too late then? I mean, isn't it too late? What if he tells me, no, I didn't do it? I just took this plea deal because they told me I was going to go to jail anyways. I just want the truth, all of it.
Is she for real? Is she serious right now? Come on. Lady, really? I just want the truth. Why would he plead guilty if he didn't do it? It's because he did it. He confessed to it. Who put the girls in the oil wells? They didn't put themselves in there. I wonder if they give medals for the mental gymnastics. Because if so, Cindy should get the medal. Let's continue.
Of us just want the truth. That's all. But I would like to know what triggered it. How can a normal young man, and he's normal. He was normal, but he wasn't evaluated when he came into the system. He wasn't normal if he did this.
It must be people.
So, okay, so now she's saying that her son is normal. He's normal. He's normal. But he must have not been normal if he did this. He wasn't evaluated when he went into the system. So now she's saying her son is insane? He must not be normal, but he wasn't evaluated. Maybe he is abnormal. So now she's blaming the system. Oh, the system didn't help my son. What if he is crazy? Maybe he is mentally insane. He's not all there. He is a little cuckoo. He's got a few screws loose up in there. Clang, clang, clang. You can hear it rattle. But the system didn't do its job. She blames everyone but herself and her son. Chris did these things. If Chris had just, had the courage to divorce Shanann and just go through the fallout of the divorce, he wouldn't be in prison right now. Shanann, Bella, Cece, and Nico would be alive, and he would just have to deal with the fallout of the divorce, of every divorce, right? Like, yes, it's gonna suck, but it's better than this. Yet she cannot admit to herself that her son is the reason that she is suffering, and her son is the reason that he is where he's at now. It was because of what he did. But she'd rather blame Shanann, and she'd rather blame the DA and the process, and now she's blaming the system. Oh, the system didn't do any kind of MRI on my son's brain. He must not be normal. This is so crazy. Let's continue.
Bewildering.
It's bewildering to me. It is. It is absolutely. How does this happen? How did this happen? And I go back in my mind thinking, was there something I didn't pick up with on Chris? But I can't think of anything except he was quiet.
It sounds like in your own mind, you're unsure as to what happened.
Yes.
Have you reconciled the idea that he could have done all of this?
So it sounds like you are unsure of what has happened. Yes. She does the thing with her glasses. I don't know, was that a tick? Was that a little nervous tick or a little lying tick? I don't know. That was kind of strange. That was a little weird to me.
You're unsure as to what happened?
Yes.
Have you reconciled the idea that he could have done all of this?
Yes. And that scares me to death. It scares me to death to think that he could have done all of this. And I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there right now. But I don't see why he's pleading guilty. I wouldn't. I'd fight. I'd fight to the end. But then you ask yourself, would a normal person dispose of the bodies the way you did? And I would have called 911 if it happened like that.
What would you say to Chris right now if he were sitting here?
If we were by ourselves,
Yeah.
I would say, Christopher, I need to know what happened that night. I need to know what happened. I've got to get these thoughts out of my head. What I think could have happened, but I need to know. And I think in time he will tell me.
Probably nothing you ever would have imagined you would have faced.
Never. Never. No, and not from the son that I raised and Ronnie raised and our children, we just did everything for them. We worked for them. We wanted them to have a good good life, good education. And we stressed education. And they were both doing well. I thought, I knew marriages can be bad, but you can get out of them and go on. But I don't know what was going through anybody's mind that night. I mean, I feel too much. I mean, I definitely feel everything way too much and have a conscience that I just feel way too much.
What? She said a lot there, especially the part where she said, I have a conscience. What conscience is she talking about? Is she trying to say that she has a clean conscience because she wasn't involved at all? Or is it the conscience that she has that is clean because she didn't know anything about Nicole? Or is her conscience clean because she didn't hate Shanann and in a way influenced Chris? What kind of conscience is she talking about here? In my opinion, that was a bit of a slip up. And we can speculate as to what she meant, but I really do think that she probably does feel some guilt. She'll never admit to it, obviously, as any narcissist will never admit to anything, but I get the impression that she does feel some type of guilt because she hated Shanann so much, and for no reason whatsoever. But it's very interesting that she used those words, my conscience. Well, I just feel a lot. I feel everything. Well, she didn't feel any remorse for the things that her son did to her granddaughters and her daughter-in-law. She didn't feel any of that, but she feels all of the things that affect her personally, directly. She feels the pain of not having her son. She feels the pain of, the son that I raised. I thought he was a good individual. I thought he was a good son. He was such a good boy. No, I didn't even see any signs of him being a little psychopath or anything. No. He didn't like harming animals or anything. But yeah, I think that was really weird of her to say, my conscience is clean. That to me says that her conscience is not clean. Let's continue.
What do you want to happen now? What would you hope would happen now?
Well, I want Chris to have his day in court. I mean, I need to know. I'd feel wonderful if I could talk to him and he could tell me what happened.
I need to know. I would feel wonderful if he just talked to me and told me what happened. I don't know. At this point, I don't even think she cares about her son. She only cares about herself. Me. I would feel better. Make me feel better. I feel so many things. I just feel everything. Everything would just make me feel so much better if I just got the things that I needed. Just give me what I want. I. Let's continue.
And then we can all go on. But if he didn't do it, if he did not do this, then I need somebody to defend him. I need someone to defend him.
That was, oh my gosh. I thought I was looking at Chris Watts right now. If they're not safe right now, I want them back. And if they're safe right now, I still want them back. But if they're not safe right now, I hope that she's safe right now and with the kids. But if they're not safe right now, I want them back. Let's continue.
If he did not do this, do they have the evidence? He's my son. I got to do everything I've got to do everything I can to help.
He's my son. I've got to
help to make sure that he is defended properly. But he said this is his decision, so I don't know. There's doubt. I have doubt that he did it. I can't see that he did it. I just cannot see him doing that as much as he loved his girls. How do you do that? I just don't see it. I just can't see him doing it. I just wanted to make sure that he has I just wanted a defense. I wanted him to be defended.
And you haven't had any discussions with his attorneys about this?
No. I asked them, do you know what happened? They said, no. We don't. Only person that knows what happened is Chris.
And she says it with a straight face.
No. I asked the defense attorneys if they knew what happened, and they said no.
The only person who knows is Chris. And yet Chris is telling her, I killed my family. And she's like, no, you didn't.
I just can't see it.
So the only person that knows the truth is Chris. Chris told his mom, I did it, and she still refuses to believe it. So it doesn't even matter who tells her that he did it. She could probably even have like the footage of him doing it, and she still wouldn't believe it because it's called denial. She's in denial. No matter what evidence you throw at her, she's still going to deny it. No matter what. She will never accept that her son did it. Her own son has told her, yes, mom, I did it. And she will not believe it. No, I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't know why you would accept a plea deal if you didn't do it. That is so weird. Why would you do such a thing? It's because I did it, mom. No, you didn't. You didn't, though. Don't say those things because you didn't. Delusion. The delusion. Oh my God. Let's continue.
Well, then he's told you his story, you know, in the affidavit. They said they would defend him if he wanted to go forward, but he said he didn't want to go forward.
And the bottom line is you would have liked to have been part of that discussion with him
I would
before
have.
you made that decision.
That's what I thought we were going down there for. At least let us talk to him. Let us talk to him. It would have made all the difference in the world.
He's a grown adult. He was a grown adult. He was what, 33?
Oh, I just wanted to be there with my son so I can help him.
He's a grown man. Not everybody gets the Nicole Kessinger treatment. She was special. She was special. I mean, she got the daddy treatment. I don't know how she was able to pull that one off. But Chris doesn't get the same treatment. Are you serious? Could you imagine if both of them got the same preferential parent treatment?
Oh, I want my daddy here. Oh.
No, this is not how it works. This is not how it works. Nicole Kessinger having her dad there is not the norm. Okay, that is not normal. So now she wants the Nicole Kessinger treatment. Like, no, lady, you don't get that, okay? I don't know how she pulled that one off, but your son doesn't get that treatment. I'm sorry, but no. He's 33 years old. He committed the crime with his bare hands. So no, you don't get to be there and hold his hand while he's going through the process. No. Are you insane? This is ridiculous. The level of delusion and in the sense of entitlement, it makes me want to throw up. She is so deluded. This is delusion. Let's continue.
If they would have just let us talk to him. If he was going to do this, what difference does it make who's listening? But he has our love. He has our unconditional love. I will never abandon my son. He did a horrible, horrible, if that comes to pass that he did this, then I still love him. He's my son.
He's my son. I still love my son. Even if he did it, I still love him. He's my son. Just because someone is your son doesn't mean you have to keep loving them. It's kind of weird, honestly. I try, you know, this is all hypothetical, but I try to put myself in her shoes. It's hard for me to do because I don't have my own grown son, but I do so in other ways. Like, I don't know, what if my brother committed a crime like this, or my sister, for that matter? Would I still love them? I mean, I think a part of me would, but I would denounce them. I would be like, that is not my brother. I don't know who that is. I'm not going to associate myself with him anymore, ever. I loved him when he wasn't a murderer. Yeah. Do I love him anymore? No. He's awful. Why would I love someone who murders his wife and children? This is so weird. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Is this something that would you keep loving your significant other or your brother or your sister, you know, your sibling or your uncle or your niece or your nephew, if they did something horrible like this? Would you still love them? It's a pretty big question, right? Because again, this is all hypothetical. We don't know. We don't know. Would we still love them? Maybe, right? Because they're our family member and we might still feel a love for them. But does it mean that they're going to have my full unconditional support? No, absolutely not. No. The minute you do something like this, you are out of my life. I'm sorry, but I cannot associate myself with someone who is that heinous, who has done something that disgusting. That means that you are a monster. And I don't care who you are. You can be my parent, you can be my sibling, you can be my uncle, you can be my nephew. I don't care who you are. We're done. It's that simple. But again, this is a pretty heavy question, but let me know what you guys think in the comments if you would still support a person after you find out that they did this, because I wouldn't. No way in hell would I ever be okay with this. Look at Cindy Watts. Let's continue.
And I will always love him. And a lot of people don't understand that. And I don't understand that, why they don't.
Well, could you talk a little bit about some things we talked about yesterday? You said, you know, I think your exact words were, he's not the psychopath next door.
He isn't. He's not the sociopath next door. He's not the psychopath. He didn't kill little small animals. He didn't do any of these things. He was a good child. I didn't see anything. I didn't see anything that was abnormal about him, except he was socially awkward. You know, he had trouble socializing, but so did I when I was younger. I think you learn that as you grow. And I think he
was not weird at all. He was just socially awkward, just like me. And I'm not weird. And then she uses the little animals. Lady, girl, sis. No one is accusing Chris of being a serial killer. He's not Jeffrey Dahmer. He's not Ted Bundy. He's not Richard Ramirez. He murdered his family. It's a different category of murderer. He was just socially awkward. Like me, though, but I'm normal. Look at me. I'm completely normal. I have a psychopath son who murdered his entire family, but I'm completely normal. Of course, I'm not saying that all socially awkward people are gonna grow up to be annihilators. I'm not saying that at all. But it is kind of weird that she compared herself to her son and said, no, he's not weird because I was weird and I'm normal. So that means that he should be normal too, right? Except he's not normal, and neither is Cindy. That whole family isn't normal. That's a pretty dysfunctional family if I've ever seen one. It says a lot about the family dynamic, right? Especially when a parent is incapable of accepting that their son did this. It says a lot about Chris and why he lied so much and why he thought he could get away with it, because he heard it from his mom his whole life. Oh, you're perfect. There's nothing wrong with you. And so he thought he could just lie to the police. He thought he could just get rid of his family and no one would question it because of the dysfunctionality that he was used to. He was used to being told, oh, you're perfect. There's nothing wrong with you. You could never do anything wrong. Everything that's bad that happens to you is because it happened to you. External forces are coming after you. It's nothing that you do that creates that negativity. No, it's just negative people around you that are coming after you. Zero responsibility. She takes no responsibility. She doesn't accept that it was her son that did that to himself. Let's continue.
He felt a little bit more comfortable in his skin, and he just, I don't think he just had the right person at his side. I don't. That relationship was toxic from the very beginning.
What would you say to Shanann's family if you could talk to them?
God, I'm so sorry this happened. You know, for both our families, because we both lost everything.
She couldn't even stick to the assignment. The question was, what would you say to Shanann's family? And again, she makes it about herself. She makes it about her family. Oh, I'm so sorry. It hurt both of our families. Both? The level of delusion. She is deflecting the question again, making it about herself. She's trying to make it seem like both families are equally suffering. We both suffered. Both of our families are going through it. No, 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 no. I'm sorry, but no, no. One family lost their daughter and their sister, their grandchildren and their nieces. The other family was the cause of that loss. Very different, very, very different. The pain that she's feeling is that her son is the killer. Her son is in prison because her son did these things. The reason she doesn't have a daughter-in-law anymore and she doesn't have grandchildren are because her son did those things. But she had to make it about herself, as always. Oh, my family too, though. My family. Oh, what about us? What about our family? This is infuriating. She has no self-awareness. Cindy is incapable of introspection. She cannot look inward. She can't look at herself. And she can't read the room either. Let's continue.
You know, they lost a daughter. We lost our son. We lost our grandchildren. We all lost. Everybody did. And it...
Yeah, because your son killed them. Lady, we all lost. This wasn't an accident. This was not an accident. Your son did those things. The reason you're losing, oh, I lost so many things, are because of your son. Because he did those things. The audacity of this woman. Oh my God, this is so bad.
You'll never get it back. And they were precious. They were so, so precious.
Oh, that's the end of it. That's the end of it. Okay. Wow. Okay, well, that was it. Yeah, that was a lot. That was a lot. I will say that watching her talk about Chris and her pain and me says a lot about Chris himself. Again, I'm not saying that every person with a narcissistic family member is going to grow up to annihilate their whole family or is going to grow up to be a serial killer. I'm not saying any of these things, but it is important to look at a person's family history to then try and make sense of why they would do the things that they did. Especially for Chris here, because a lot of the lying, it seems, he lies just like his mom, in my opinion. The way that I was observing what I was seeing, Cindy's words. What I was observing was a son who is so used to lying to his mom and a mom who is so delusional and is willing to believe anything that her lying little son tells her. So I think it was very telling. I can't really stand seeing Cindy. She knew Shanann. She knew Bella and she knew Cece. She spent time with them. So it's harder for me to watch Cindy because she actually spent time with Shanann and the girls. And for her to say these things about Shanann and have the audacity to say them and have no shame in saying them, it's a lot harder for me to take in. It's a lot harder to accept because she knew them. She was close to them. Those were her grandkids. That was her daughter-in-law. Now with Nicole, it's different. She was the other woman. Of course, she felt a certain amount of envy and jealousy towards Shanann, and that's just normal for her to feel, right? She was the other woman and she wanted Chris. It's a whole nother level of delusion when you are the mother of the killer and you are defending the killer just because you are the mother and he's your son. It was hard to watch. But yeah, anyway, thank you for watching this, and I will see you next time.